Boy up, it's D&D in the building. Purdue power, no ceiling. Yeah. Double D back, that's Derek and Dalton. Talking gold blood, Mackie Ben Moulton. Black and gold dreams, banners we folding. Paint crew loud, every rim gets swollen. Stats so clean, you think it's a scheme. History books get Purdue screen. From humble to E-Day, legends on replay. We run through Mars like it's just another weekday. Double the energy, talking that legacy. Boiler boys cooking, no recipe. Microphone magic, rivalry static. We breaking it down, keep it cinematic. You want the heat, better tune in fast.
Hello, welcome back to the Double D podcast. It's been a while. We're happy to have you. My name's Derek. As always, this is my co-host Dalton. I was in Florida there for about 8 or 9 days. Dalton was sick. I'm now sick. It's just been a rough go. So we apologize that we've been away for a bit, but we're ready to get back in the full swing of things with the Big Ten season approaching here soon. So this episode, we're going to be previewing the Purdue Wisconsin game coming up Saturday at 8 o'clock on Fox. Should be a huge game at the Kohl Center, always a tough place to play. Wisconsin hasn't necessarily been great so far this year, but you know they're going to show up. They're in need of big-time wins, and they've got a 3-game stretch here with Purdue, UCLA, and Michigan where they have a chance to get some of those. So we're going to get their full effort, and we're going to break down everything that we think is going to happen in that game. So, Dalton, how you been? I know we haven't been here since before Christmas. How was your Christmas? How's everything been going for you?
Everything is good. I'm feeling human again. There for a few days, I'm telling you, this whatever sickness is going around, it was for real. So if you have it, just know that I am praying for you, and you probably will make it out the other side. It's not fun, but you will get through it. Christmas has been great. Lots of time with family that I don't see all the time. Just a good reason to get together with everybody. And, despite being sick, I'm really grateful for the Christmas season, for friends and family. I had a huge epiphany last evening. Just a quick reminder that we're not here forever, and our time is short, so to make effective use of that. But yeah, everything's good, man. It was kind of an eye-opener last night. I don't know why it hit me. I do, but I don't. Just all at once, everything. But that's enough of that. Looking forward to this Wisconsin game. Should be a good one for the Boilers. It will be a good test. I know Craig from Boilers in the Stands was really high on Wisconsin. They've underperformed so far, but they are still Wisconsin and a very talented team. So, how was Florida? How's the family?
Yeah, man, all good. Florida was great. I mean, we had absolutely perfect weather. It was 70 to 80 every day. No rain, just absolutely nothing more you could ask for from a weather standpoint. The only shitty part was coming back home to this mess of a environment that is Indiana, in central North Indiana. But I mean, it was a great vacation. Always good to spend that much time, with your family and going and doing stuff, trying new things, eating really nice meals, and just enjoying the holiday season together. It's something where I'm lucky that my wife's family does for us and takes us all. But it's been awesome, and it was awesome again this year. Got to spend New Year's Eve last night with you guys and had a good time doing that as well. The kids threw us a party. Pretty cool. I told Jameson this is the best party I've ever been to, mostly because it was infused with love. But yeah, it was a
great party.
Great party. It was a good time, and I was happy to get to spend so much time with family. Just like you said, very blessed to have that availability of family. Not everybody's got that, has that kind of relationship with their family. So really happy about that. It was a great time. Sucks to be back in Indiana with the weather, but also kind of nice to get back into your normal routine and stuff. One benefit, and we'll quickly, we're not going to dive into the Auburn or Kent State games. We didn't recap those because of obviously our situations at the time, but we will briefly hit on them. The one benefit was last year, the day we got to Florida, was the ass kicking that Bruce Pearl so eloquently described as a bitch slap or whatever he said to Purdue. So that was a horrible start to my vacation last year. This year we arrived again on the day we played Auburn, and it was a much, much happier result. So what were your thoughts on, how that game went? It almost never felt like it was in question, just a slow beat down. And then the Kent State game obviously was just utter domination against a good mid-major program.
I feel like both games were exactly that, exactly what we should have done, exactly who Purdue is when they're playing top-level ball this year. I feel like the Auburn game, I mean, what can you call it other than a BTA spanking? It was exactly what we needed, and that's what you get when you run your mouth about real competitive folks like Braden and TKR. You don't just I wouldn't talk about them. If I was another team, I wouldn't give them 1 ounce. I wouldn't say a word about the game. They asked me about the game, I would give the most mayonnaise answer you've ever heard, dude. You give these Purdue players any firepower and you're going to lose.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like if I'm asked about good players I'm going against, I'm going, hey man, they're awesome players. Really excited to play against them. Excited to see it in person, how great that they actually are. I'd be glazing them up because, like, the great players that have ever lived, the Tiger Woodses, the Michael Jordans, these guys, they will dig and dig and dig for any sort of fuel.
Yeah.
And you just can't allow them to have it. And I think that was a bad mistake, not only on Auburn to Pettiford. He did it in the offseason, basically to the whole Big Ten, just said the Big Ten can't compete with the SEC. And so far Auburn's gotten blown out by Michigan and Purdue handily. So my instinct is they're competitive. It's going to happen. The Bruce Pearl thing was just dumb on Bruce Pearl's part. Like, hey, son, take over the reins, and then I'm going to talk crap to one of the best teams in the country right before you play.
Let's see. Why did Bruce Pearl leave this year?
Yeah.
Out of any
year. He was about to
year.
get bitch slapped by the Big Ten.
Because that team is not that good, and he knew it, man. He's like, here you go, boy. Here you go, medical sales device guy. Go ahead and go handle this.
Good, just great wins. I thought everybody, it was one of those, cathartic kind of victories when you beat a team that beat you so handily the year before. Needed to happen. I look at our schedule at this point, and this isn't a state of the program episode, but like where Purdue is, and you can't just take away a loss, but they're 12-1. In the 12 games they didn't lose, they've pretty much dominated every game. Right. The Memphis game was just so choppy and ugly. I don't even really count that. I mean, we never were. To me, that game was never in doubt. It was just ugly. The Alabama game was close, but we always felt in control. And other than that, every game's been a blowout. And that's one thing I've always criticized about Purdue is they don't blow teams out. Right. We've done it all year long now. If say we lost to Iowa State by 4 instead of 24, the conversation would be completely different.
Yeah,
that game scared a lot of people off Purdue, but to me, it's one game.
Yeah, it was a bad day. And as you saw, like, you can have a bad day against a smaller mid-major team like Iowa State did. They were only leading by 6 the other day to I can't remember who it was, but, it wasn't a great team, and they shouldn't have been in that game, just like Michigan State against Cornell. It's like we just had a bad game against the wrong level of opponents. And that's all it was. I mean, bad shooting. You look at that shooting day, just miserable. That's like a high school shooting stats right there of a bad team.
Yeah, opposed to their incredible shooting that they had that game. So, those games they happen. You don't want them to. Everybody who thinks Michigan's never going to run into that, they're wrong. That's going to happen. They're going to lose. It's going to happen. Because if Purdue wins that game, they're on the exact same level as Michigan right now.
Yep.
Because they're blowing everybody else out too.
Yeah.
All right. So last thing I want to ask you about before we get to Wisconsin, Jack Benner. There's been a lot of discussion about how much he's really going to play. Obviously, he had the breakout game. Was the 6th Purdue player to score 20 points this season. crazy. None of those players were CJ or Jakari yet either. So, or Omer. And any three of them could do it on a given night. So what are your thoughts on Benter? Do you think he has a spot in this rotation in the Big Ten where obviously lineups are going to get shrunk and the big three are going to play more minutes? I personally still believe he's going to end up in that 10 to 15 minute range. Obviously, there's people out there who think that'll be less.
Yeah, people are saying a lot of things, people that are non-denominational fan base grifters, and I'm not a huge fan of those accounts. You don't know as much about Purdue as we do. We spend every day, every minute looking into Purdue things, Purdue stats. We know Painter. We know how he talks about people, what he means by certain things he says. I mean, we've been with the program since we were kids. So to come in and act like you're day one is just really annoying. I'll diverge from that. Benter has a spot. Painter, I've never heard Painter talk about a guy this highly, probably since maybe Braden came in or a Carson came into the program. Painter is high on him. He is a freshman academically or, eligibility wise. He redshirted. He knows the program. He doesn't come in and make mistakes. He plays good defense. There is minutes for him at the 4. There are minutes for him at the 3. He might come in and he might fill that Colvin Heidi role this year, where you need a firecracker that come in that's gonna shoot no matter what. We've also seen him drive to the bucket more often, which he's a big body. He's kind of Jakari, that style player. He can get to the rim. There is absolutely 10 to 15 minutes for Jack Benter on this team and in this lineup, Big Ten or not. I mean, the person we're discussing here said that he hasn't played in any meaningful games. Well, let's see. The only meaningful game he didn't play a lot of minutes in was Alabama. He played 6 minutes. It was the return of TKR, and we saw what TKR did that game. So to say that Jack Benter's not going to get meaningful minutes in the Big Ten is asinine. It's crazy, and I hate it. And I let that be known. If you follow me, you probably saw that interaction. So,
Yeah, for sure. Well, and I hear the way Painter talks about him as a facilitator, as a playmaker, not even the shooting. The shooting's obviously legit. He's made 10 threes in a row. But he can do so much more than that. He's a good rebounder. He plays hard. He's where he's supposed to be defensively. And the meaningful games thing is crazy to me because Purdue's only played in 2 games that were within 10 points. Okay, so math tells me that even though we're going into the Big Ten season, there's still going to be a lot of games that aren't relatively close. I mean, Purdue, the bottom of the Big Ten is not very good. Purdue should beat the crap out of the Penn States of the world. Even like some of these other teams, the Iowas, the Marylands, I don't think can hang with Purdue in a full game. So you're going to see a lot of those 6 minutes at the end of the game where Benter's the main guy on the floor. And he's just going to continue to get better and better in those minutes. So, all right, we'll move forward. Good 2 wins by Purdue, though. Happy to see him. Wait into the year. It's time to move into Big Ten season. This is what gets me excited about college basketball is when we get into this point, because the being able to turn on the TV on any given night and see 3 or 4 great games throughout the different conferences. Plus, sometimes there's a couple middle of the road Big Ten games that I'm like, yeah, it sounds like a good. I want to watch Northwestern Minnesota. That could be a hell of a game,
Yeah.
And I want to learn a little bit about those teams because we are going to play them at some point. So it really excites me. Like, Friday we have some good Big Ten games. Nebraska and Michigan State play, USC and Michigan. We're getting into that point where there's some good fun games pretty much every day. So this game, though, is Purdue at the Kohl Center at Wisconsin. Purdue's been fairly unlucky, tough, not played well against Wisconsin. They've lost 2 in a row to them in back-to-back seasons, one in the tournament and one last year when they came into Mackey, and I was at that game, and it was I think Purdue was up like 18 at halftime, and then Wisconsin comes out in the second half and just doesn't miss. It was an incredible performance by Wisconsin, and kind of something similar that I think, if it doesn't go Purdue's way, it could be what happens this year, because they have two guys at the top in Nick Boyd and Blackwell that are absolute scoring machines, both averaging over 19 a game. So what are your first takes on Wisconsin? We've known Greg Gard in this program. He's been there 11 years now. So what do you expect to see? What do you think, and what are you looking for?
We're going to get their best. We always get, it just seems like teams find another level against Purdue, and Gard is no exception to that, coaching Wisconsin. I believe this is a really good offensive team. They've got the firepower, they've got some wing size, quickness, and they've got Winter, obviously, in the middle. He's just a typical guard big man.
But yeah,
like a Frank Kaminsky type player. Just he'll hit a three, or he might throw you on the ground while he's trying to get a rebound. Not very good defensively. I mean, like standard wise, I mean, they play defense. Obviously, we're not going to walk all over them, but statistically speaking, not one of the tougher defenses we have played. That's my initial thoughts on Wisconsin. I don't know. What are you thinking about them?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like a nerfed version of last year's team a little bit. They don't have the Tanji. These other two guys, Blackwell was there last year, and he's very good, but he's also extremely streaky and kind of just a one-man wrecking ball type of player. And he doesn't have the physicality that Tanji had. I mean, Tanji would just go shoot 25 free throws a game because he would never stop coming at you. So I think you're right. This is a pretty good offensive team, but it is really kind of just a three-headed monster. They don't have much depth outside of those top three guys. Like you said with Winter, such a typical guy for that team. Can shoot the ball, can get in the post, can rebound. But also, like, I believe Wisconsin, I can't remember exactly, they were like 5th or 6th in the country in height, average height. However, it's not like you think. It's not like Michigan. They're not going to dominate you strictly inside. It's not really utilized height as much as it should be. So I think a key with them is you got to slow these guards down. You can't just say go get yours, because they will, and they will both put up 25 to 30 points. You've got to slow them down a little bit. So this is going to be a huge, very important game for CJ Cox, Jakari Harris, Braden Smith on ball, staying in front of these guys, because they draw a lot of fouls. I believe between them, they draw like 12 fouls per 40 minutes. And for two guards, that's a lot. So they're going to attack you. They're going to come down at you. It's a big game also for Clough and DJ to be down there and be straight up. Don't get in foul trouble, because this is one of those games where if we can get like a Winter in foul trouble, that really hurts them, because he's by far their best rebounder. And if he's out of the game, they are really going to struggle. They already are not great on the glass, but they will struggle drastically as he's out. So for me, this game is as simple as be good on the perimeter, continue the defensive presence. We've 3 or 4 straight games with 60 or less points. I'd love to see that again in this game. Going to be hard at the Kohl Center, but so really you gotta just do that, and you've got to try to find a way to make your presence felt inside enough that Winter's going to get himself in foul.
Yeah, I think we eat down low in this game. TK. It might be a TKR day. Like they were talking about, it is a cold place to play, which I always hated cold gyms, man. You're freezing while you're sweating. That's always a weird feeling when you're balling. Your hands are the first thing that get cold, so it might be a challenging day for the shooters. As we've heard, the rims aren't great there.
Yeah, Braden
he's not a fan of their rims. This team does average 10.23 turnovers per game, which I think if we continue the way we have been playing defense, like Braden and Omer are looking to jump pass lanes at every turn. And when we collapse, we're usually getting at least a touch of the ball down low. So,
yeah, and I've noticed too, Jakari the last few games has been a lot more aggressive stealing the ball. So I look to see some more of that. But I do think we can get this team turned over. They do play decently fast compared to us. Like they're a top 100 tempo team. A lot of that comes from, Winter getting a rebound, outletting it to one of these two guards and them just going. So let's jump into these players. They have, obviously 3 big guys that will hit and then a couple other guys that are role players. But let's start with Nick Boyd. Transfer from Florida Atlantic. He's 6'3", 180 pounds, just your typical guard that can kind of do it all. Averages 19 plus points a game, a little over 3 rebounds, a little over 3 assists. So overall, my opinion of him, he's an elite downhill driver. He gets to the rim. A little bit different than Blackwell in that way, where Blackwell is more of a shooter, in my opinion. But he can create for others. It's not his main thing. He's not Braden Smith out there, but he's a capable passer if he needs to be. A little bit inconsistent this year on the 3-point line. I think he's like only shooting around 30% or something. Hasn't been great. So for me, it's almost like would you rather this guy just stand out there and shoot threes? So maybe you play a little drop coverage against him kind of thing and lean back. You just get a hand up, contest the 3, but you'd rather that than him be driving and getting guys in trouble and creating shots for getting guys in foul trouble, creating shots for other people. So what are your thoughts on Nick Boyd? What do you know about him? What do you think Purdue needs to do to slow this guy down?
I haven't watched a lot of Wisconsin. I don't know. This is becoming a trend. Maybe I need to watch more ball, but I'm usually like, I don't know. I usually have the biggest game on every time, and I don't think Wisconsin has been in that game one time this year to where
They've
it
been
was the
blown
game
out. I watched them against
I-
Nebraska. Nebraska boat raced them.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at any meaningful game they've had this year, it hasn't been great for them. Boyd, he's 48% field goal. Looks to me like a 50% from a guard, 30% from 3. Not anything to tell your dad about. But like you said, he likes to get downhill. He's averaging 5 free throws a game, so he gets to the rim some, draws some fouls. To average 5 free throws a game, he's doing something right, averaging over 19 points a game. But I do look at the quality of opponents also at the same time. It's like if I played against Jameson's team, I'd probably put up 19 a game too. So
Yeah, he's a guy you just can't let get to his dominant right hand. When he gets going that direction, he's almost impossible to stop. You got to force him left. You got to force him into you want to, even though he's capable of doing it, you want to make him a decision maker rather than a scorer. And if you can do that and you can get him to maybe take some tough contested threes, you're going to have success. This is just a guy, he's probably not going to go off on it from the 3-point line. You just have to be careful because he can get some guys in foul trouble. He kind of is the guy on their team that's their alpha. He's going to be the guy that's stirring the pot. And I think CJ will guard him, and I think CJ will slam the door on him for the most part because that's what CJ has been doing all year to elite level guards.
he also averages the most turnovers per game on their team. So
Yeah, he is turnover prone at times.
2 per game.
Yeah, 2 per game on only 3 assists, so that's not a great ratio. Where you think Braden averages around 2.5, but he also averages 10 assists a game.
Right.
We'll move to Blackwell, their other star guard. Between these two, they average almost 40 points a game. Blackwell's a little bit bigger, 6'4", 205, beefier guy. He went and tested the waters of the NBA draft last year, didn't like what he saw, decided to come back. Unfortunately for him, he could have just went pro and came back anyway, though. That's the new rule. So he's averaging about 18.5 points a game, somewhere in that range. Definitely a better 3-point shooter than Boyd. Blackwell is a guy who, if he gets hot, he can bury him in a hurry, and he's not afraid to shoot him. He's not afraid to go after him. Rebounds pretty well for his position. That's one thing that I always commend a guard who rebounds well because that's just effort. That's having a nose for the basketball, and he clearly does. He loves to run off screens and hit threes. I mean, he is very, very different from Fletcher, but also similar in the way he wants to score the ball. He wants to make threes, and then he wants to pump fake, and he wants to get to mid-range to a floater. He wants to try to get to the rim. He does draw fouls as well, kind of like Fletcher. It's not through brute force. It's through craftiness. It's through ball knowledge. It's through being a good basketball player. So he also is a guy who can get himself in foul trouble from what I've seen. But what do you think about Blackwell? Obviously, we've seen him before. He's been there. He played against Purdue last year and lit us up. What are your thoughts on him?
Yeah, Blackwell's one of those guards. One of those guys that is a flamethrower. I mean, you let him, we should probably program for him the same way we did for Auburn with Pettiford. Because this is a guy you can't let start good, or he'll create problems the whole game. And I don't think we've gone to the strategy this much of letting somebody get theirs and seeing if the rest of the team can beat you. Whereas we've seen that in the past years where one person will go off for 40, the rest of the team just has to beat us. But I think we do need to, probably have CJ on him. I would venture to say we'll probably have Braden on Boyd. I just think Blackwell's a more physical guard, and we need physical defensive presence on him. Whereas he draws almost 7 fouls a game. Or, no, he shoots 7 free throws a game, so that would be 3. My math is horrible.
I think he
today.
draws like 6.5 fouls per 40 minutes, which is pretty high for him.
Yeah, he's going to get downhill. He's physical. I don't know. It's one of those guards, kind of like Phylon, where you can't let the flamethrower go off early.
Yeah, I compare him to, like, if a team is scouting Purdue, like, what's your number one thing? Don't let Fletcher get hot early.
Yeah.
Because then that changes the whole dynamic of how you have to play defense.
Right.
You're probably right. It's probably a good call. Because of the size difference, I could definitely see CJ guarding him. Braden would be a little undersized, I think, trying to slow him down. And Braden's got to guard somebody. And then the next guy will go through Andrew Rode. That's be probably Fletcher's matchup, I would guess. He's a 6'6" wing, 95 pounds, not overwhelming in size. He transferred in from St. Thomas. Only averages like 7 points a game, but he's a solid rotational player. Shoots 35% from 3. Does everything pretty minimally, but he plays 25 minutes a game for him, so he'll be out there. He's a spot-up shooter. He reminds me a little bit of like what a Jakari would be out there, playing 25 minutes a game. Good size, creates mismatches. He can't really do a whole lot as far as creating for himself. He's not an insane athlete. He's nothing crazy there. But he is just one of those guys. He's a Wisconsin basketball player, in my opinion. Just a guy who's in the right spots, plays hard, does the little things. Do you know anything about Rode? I wasn't very familiar. He's from St. Thomas, so I never had seen him play until this year.
Yeah, I have not seen him play, but I can see from statistics that he is a very efficient player. His assist to turnover ratio is the highest on the team. Given Will Garlock is at 9, obviously that's not we're not there for the whole year. So probably just a good role player. Knows his role on guards team. I mean, we've seen people get benched for not playing their role in guards teams, with Connor Esigian, finding his way to the Pine pretty quickly on guards teams a few years ago. So I would guess he just plays a role and plays tough and plays hard defense.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. He's also a Wisconsin kid. Assume he's got a little bit of that. I don't know. I didn't watch their other home game, but I assume that he's got some home field love there, being from there. We'll move to their bigs. Their 2 bigs that start. Austin Rapp. He is a sophomore. He's from Australia, so maybe him and Cluffy. I wonder if they're from the same area of Australia.
Guarantee they know each other well.
100%. That'll be fun. He's 6'10", 240 pounds, so he's a big boy. He's not going to be scared down there. He does average almost 10 points a game. Does shoot threes every once in a while. Not super efficient with them, like under 30%. Doesn't rebound incredibly well for his size, only like 4 a game in 23 minutes. So, I mean, you got to think Clough's averaging like 10 a game in 19 minutes. So,
yeah,
he's more of a stretch big. Like, he likes to shoot the 3. I just don't think he's that great at it. At least not so far. That could change, and it probably will in this game. Pretty good passer, honestly. Not a bad facilitator at all for a big guy. not a great finisher inside, if I'm being completely honest. He's underwhelming from a rebounding standpoint. He's kind of just like I'm trying to compare him to somebody like he almost reminds me of like a Caleb First, but bigger.
Yeah.
Like doesn't bring you a ton from a finishing standpoint. Kind of wants to shoot threes, but he's just okay. He's not great at them. But he's going to play hard and he's going to hustle and he's going to be a big body in there to battle because this is who I expect will probably be on Trey, just because of the size he has and physicality. Any thoughts on this guy? I don't know if he played much at all last year, but has a pretty good role.
Let's see. He played for Portland last year.
Yeah, I knew he wasn't with Wisconsin.
Portland, looks like last year he had a pretty good year, I would say. But I don't know a whole lot about this guy. Like I said, I haven't really watched Wisconsin. They haven't been top of mind. They're not really that great at anything. They're just going to be a thorn in everybody's side like usual in the Big Ten.
Probably
They'll win
finish
games
sixth in the
they
Big Ten.
shouldn't. Yeah. Beat people they shouldn't beat. Lose games they probably shouldn't, like Minnesota. This guy shoots 30% from three. It seems to be trending on their team. Not spark shooters besides Blackwell. Looks like he has a 1.7 assist to turnover ratio. So, I mean, that's pretty high, considering their top guy is, 2.3. So I'm guessing this guy just comes in, does his job, gets a few boards here and there, shoots a three, and he'll guard Trey and he'll probably be dead by the end of the game. So
yeah, I fully expect Trey to destroy this guy. I just think Trey's way too quick and too fast for him.
Right.
And being that this guy's not a good rebounder, I expect Trey to dominate the glass in this game.
Right.
Because moving on to the next guy, Nolan Winter, he'll have to deal with Oscar Clough and Daniel Jacobson throughout this game. We know him. He's good. He's a junior. He's 7 feet tall, 235 pounds, stretch big, can shoot it, can dribble it. Just a good player. I mean, all around good player. 14 points a game on 60% shooting, only shooting 27% from three this year. Every game I've ever seen this man play against Purdue, he shot about 100%. So I fully expect him to go 6 for 8 or something in this game. It just happens every time. Also a very good rim protector guy. He's one of the top block rate guys in the country. He's very good from a standpoint of protecting the rim. He's not very good on the perimeter, though. That's why I don't really think he guards Trey. He's going to hang out down there. The good thing about us having Trey and another big is that he's not going to be able to sag off and just stand there and be a shot blocker. He's going to have to play defense. So what are your thoughts on Winter? Obviously, we've seen him for a really long time. It feels like he's only a junior, but God, it feels like he's been there forever.
Yeah, I feel like people think we print 7-footers. I also feel like Wisconsin does the same thing, and then they're there forever.
Yeah.
It's like the Brad Davidson effect with every one of their bigs. It's like we have to deal with Kaminsky, and then it's, on to the next 7-foot white guy they found in a cave in Alaska. Yeah, Winter's just a good player. We don't generally like to bring our bigs out that far, so we usually see that against Wisconsin, that they'll eat against us. I remember even with Edey, he was playing from the free throw line and still getting cooked on threes by them. So, and I expect the same with Clough. Painter just doesn't like to bring bigs out. He wants them down there to clog the lanes, and we'll probably see him hit one or two, and then we'll start playing him a little tougher on the outside. He is, averaging over 1 block a game, so expect to see him get paws on a ball. Yeah, just he is a great player, and there's not too much. If you watch Purdue, I'm sure you know who Nolan Winter is. So
yeah. The one thing I do say, I think that having Clough is huge in this kind of matchup because I think Clough can guard a little farther out than like a Jacobson could. I think Jacobson just gets toasted if he's out above the free throw line. But you've seen Clough do it in the high hedge over and over this year. So I think you're going to see it in this game that it's going to be very beneficial to have a guy like that and then be able to bring Jacobson in when he needs a breather and play a little differently. But we'll hit on the last couple guys just from the bench, just because mainly I want to try to pronounce this guy's name. Alexis Baliauskas.
Balauskas.
Something tells me he's an ass kisser, belly ass kiss.
Yeah, he
He's
does.
6'10".
Bellies and ass.
He is a big boy from Lithuania. He doesn't play a ton, but about 18 minutes a game. So he's similar to like like a Jack Benner role. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna work when he's in the game because he's trying to earn more minutes. So decent 3-point shooter. He's inexperienced though. He's not a good free throw shooter. I'd just try to, if this guy's in the game, it's just about like, okay, don't let this guy hit back-to-back threes randomly or something crazy.
Right.
Just keep your eye on him. I don't think he's not a huge impact player. He's just another big body they can bring in. Like I said, they don't have a lot of depth. So this is a guy they'll bring in. And then Braden Carrington is like their backup guard, kind of can do a combo guard guy. Only averages 5 points a game, but he's a good 3-point shooter, almost 40% on the season in 13 minutes a game. He's kind of what CJ Cox was for Purdue for a lot of last year, just a microwave, kind of comes in, almost like what Omer is. You're just hoping he comes in and makes some crazy stuff happen. He's just a guy that will, honestly, if he sees one go down, he's going to get another one probably the next possession. So you just can't allow that to happen. You just can't let a guy like this come in and make 3 or 4 threes and completely swing the game.
Yeah, I think this will be similar to Auburn. Their bench isn't deep. They got their main guys. Blackwell, if he scores, they'll be doing well. If he doesn't, they're going to struggle. They average 16 assists per game. Braden probably could beat them in assists by himself if Painter would let him play this year, which we heard he doesn't care about, but yeah, that's not a great assist, so we're going to be seeing some Auburn-style hero ball going on here probably quite a bit. I expect Purdue to come out and dominate. I expect maybe a big Fletch game.
I could see that because he's been cold lately. Last guy I'll hit on, Jack Janicki. I just like his name, to be honest with you. But he does play like 15-ish minutes a game, so he will be in the game. He's another guard, 6'5". Doesn't score a lot. Terrible shooter. Shoots 20% from 3 or something. Not a guy you even really have to pay attention to. He's just a glue guy. He's going to come in. He's going to play hard. He's going to play defense. He's going to probably get a couple fouls. Not a guy you're going to worry about on the stat sheet, but you will see his name. And his name is pretty cool, Jack Janicki. I gotta give it to him. It's a good.
Jack
name.
Janicki. Sounds like a golfer.
Yeah, it does kind of. That wraps up the players. We'll go into like our keys to the game and then what we're looking for from the Purdue guys. As I'm sitting here, it's going into halftime, and I'm watching Indiana up 17-0 on Alabama.
What did I tell you?
You told me they were going to destroy them, and I didn't believe it. But here we are.
20 points.
Here we are. This timeline needs some art. Stranger Things just ended. Can we get like a break in the timeline? Need something to happen.
I'll know that in about a month.
All right. So, what are your keys to the game for this game? What does Purdue have to do? What does Wisconsin have to do? It's your floor.
Yeah, I'll keys to the game would be, all right. First one would be get the bigs touches. Don't care if they shoot or not. Like we've seen the last couple of games where we have gotten post touches a lot more. It just opens it up, and then that would be my first one, post touches against this team. The second would be ball movement, because like we saw against Akron, Akron's a high mid-major. They were ranked, or not Akron. Who did we play last?
Kent State.
Kent State, yeah. They're a high efficiency offense. We came out and looked like the higher efficiency offense with our ball movement, and I think that we tear people up when the ball moves around. It's going to be a lot of that. And then I would say hold Blackwell under 13 points. I think you get an easy win that day.
Okay. So defensively, mine would be just contest the 3-ball. I don't care if they shoot them. They're not a great shooting team, but they have to be contested. We're not giving up wide open threes. Crash the glass. We have to because this is not a team who's going to get offensive putbacks. They're going to get offensive rebounds that lead to kick out threes, and those are backbreakers. So you got to crash the glass. We need to dominate the glass. And then pressure the ball handlers. So we talked about who's going to guard who here. It doesn't really matter to me, but they need to be pressured because these guys are too good to just be able to free reign, do what they want. So it's about forcing them one direction, force them into the action you want them in, and playing good, solid, sound defense, and then letting your off-ball guys work on getting steals and helping and that kind of stuff. So when it comes to pick and roll, they have Winter, so pick and pop is their thing. So making those guys uncomfortable in that is very important. Offensively, but
I was just gonna say, I noticed that they're 1-4 in games against the top 50 or top 60 teams this year. So
yeah, they haven't fared well against the good. I mean, like I said, they got blown out by Nebraska, blown out by Michigan. Did they play Michigan?
No, not Michigan. It was
Oh, not
BYU
Michigan.
beat them by
BYU.
28. TCU, Nebraska, and Villanova they lost to.
I think that was in like double overtime. Yeah, offensively, take advantage of mismatches. Like I said, TKR should dominate anybody they throw in there at him. When they don't have a guy, I don't think, this could be wrong, that can guard Braden. So take advantage when you get these mismatches. If you get Braden on Winter, go to work, Braden. Get around that guy. Get him in foul trouble. Push the pace. They like to go fast, but Purdue's way to beat teams that want to play fast is to play fast because Purdue's efficient. So if you want to play more possessions, it's probably not going to work out for you. So go ahead and push that pace when you get the chance. And then last is just target that weak bench. Get them in foul trouble. When the bench comes in, dominate them. They are not good. Their bench, this is the very opposite of Purdue's bench. If Purdue's bench played Wisconsin's bench, they'd probably win by 60. It's not a experienced bench. It's not a good bench. So get into the bench. And when you do, take advantage of that. Those are mine. What's your one thing that if Wisconsin does this, they can win this game? Because I do think, just to be fair, that Wisconsin can win this game.
Yeah, I'm not writing them off by any means. I would say the key to them winning this game would just be to get Tanji or Blackwell on a heater. He's a fire catcher, a flamethrower, like I've been saying. I mean, he is the key to the game. I think if he gets hot, he's hard to put out. So
yeah, mine would just be to get Purdue's big men in foul trouble, and take away the advantage that Purdue does have on the interior. If they get TKR in foul trouble, or if they can get Clough in foul trouble, I think that Clough in this game is way more important than Jacobson, just because of how everything matches up. So if Clough gets in foul trouble, it's detrimental, especially if it's the same. If you get Clough and TKR, say they both have 2 fouls at the first half, 10-minute timeout, or 8-minute, and we got to play 8 minutes without him, and then we end up going into half down. That's how I think they could come out with the victory. What's your one thing if Purdue does this, they win this game?
I would say if both of our bigs have a double-double, you don't win that game, which has happened at least a couple times this year, to where TKR and Clough were able to pull off a double-double. I think as long as they're on the floor and playing, I think Purdue has a statistically high better chance of winning. So
I'm going to keep it simple. You hold Wisconsin under 70 points, you win the game. We've been holding teams under 60. Wisconsin's a little bit higher caliber. Well, maybe not than Auburn, but still, you just hold them under 70 and you win the game. All right, let's go real quick down Purdue's team. Just one thing you want to see from each guy. We've been doing this, and it's kind of fun and fast. So what's one thing you want to see from Braden Smith?
12 assists. Get back on the assist train, man.
I like that. He needs 10 assists to break the record. So I'll go with the same thing, 10 assists. Just let me see him get this record out of the way for the Big Ten, and let's move forward. Fletcher Lawyer.
Fletcher, get back on track, man. I need to see at least eight threes shot. And I think that'll play a key role in Braden achieving said assist.
Yeah, I'm going to do something similar with Fletcher. I'm going to say he needs to shoot 50% or higher from three. 1 for 2, 4 for 8, 10 for 20. Don't care. Just need to see the volume match the production.
Okay.
He's 3 for 17 his last 2 games, so he's getting them up. They just got to go in. TKR.
I just noticed a stat real quick. Every game Wisconsin has been 70 or under, they have lost.
Wow.
So that your key to the game
Nailed it.
is a key to the game. So
Yeah.
TKR, I'm sticking on that double-double. I need points this game, and I need rebounds, mostly offensive.
Yeah, I think this is a huge game for TKR matchup wise. First Big Ten game. I'm going to say 20+ points is what I want to see from him. Think he should do that pretty easily. He's been kind of creeping up higher and higher.
Yeah.
I mean, last game he had 15 and 12 in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
CJ Cox.
CJ, 2 threes and 2 mid-range shots. Because his 3 opens up that pump fake to his beautiful mid-range. Not a whole lot. Play your good defense, but get up some shots from CJ.
I was just going to say, whoever you're guarding, make it known that's who you were guarding, because they did so poorly. I want people after the game to go, man, Blackwell had a terrible game. And I go, oh, yeah, that's because CJ was guarding. Keep being that guy. Nothing concrete as far as any stats. Just keep making your defensive presence known, and you're going to find yourself on an all-defensive team by the end of this year. All right, the man from down under, Oscar Clough.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the double-double from him. Is big, because that means Winter probably got some fouls. If that means Clough's touching the ball that much, their bigs probably don't stand a chance. They're going to get in foul trouble. They're going to have a hard time, and they don't have a lot behind Winter that can stand up to somebody like Clough, and that opens the door for Jacobson. So,
yeah, 10+ rebounds. What I was going to say. Also, be the best Australian on the court, and make sure this other guy. I'm sure you know who he is. He knows who the best player is on that court.
Easily.
All right, Jakari.
Get to the rim. The big body boy needs to go downhill. Put your body in their body and go.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. I'm going to say 5 or more free throws.
All right.
Get to the line. He's kind of started to do this here recently, and he's a great free throw shooter. So him getting to the line is always a victory for Purdue.
It's like he doesn't know he's a big boy.
Omer Meyer.
The key to this game for me is don't shoot threes. Pass the ball.
Yeah.
That's my key. Don't force, pass the ball. Run the offense.
I like that. I'm going a complete opposite direction. I'm saying put the ball through the hoop. Okay. I don't care if it's mid-ranges, layups, dunks, or half-court shots. I need the ball to go in hoop. Okay. That's it. Jacobson.
DJ, just come in and fill your minutes. Straight up. Under 3 fouls.
Yeah. I don't really have much on DJ. I think he's going to be kind of neutralized in this game a little bit, but my thing would be to just catch and dunk all the lobs that you get thrown to you, because I think there will be some in this game. Winter is a shot blocker. What do shot blockers do? They come over and help to try to block shots. What does Braden do in that situation? He throws a lob to the other side. So I think there are going to be some opportunities for lobs in this game, and that's all I want from him. Catch the lob, dunk the lob, move on. Keep shooting free throws well, too. He's been great from the free throw line.
Yeah.
Last guy from the rotational, Jack Benter.
Like we said, probably 10 to 15. The minutes shrink slightly. I don't foresee this being a blowout, so I think Jack needs to come in, find out if he's hot quick, and continue from there. Decide whether you need to keep shooting or find a way to the bucket.
Yeah, I'm going to go with something that's probably a little too much to ask of somebody, but make 3 consecutive threes, because then you break the, I believe, all-time NCAA record of consecutive made
Hell
threes,
yeah.
which would be
Cool.
pretty cool. So, just want to see him have a good game, to be honest, though. Last guy
Right.
we'll hit on, as we always will, Aaron Fine. What do we expect to see from this young man?
Yeah, I don't know that this will be a fine game. We're at Wisconsin, tough environment, bad rims, cold floor. I just want to see Aaron Fine on my feed hyping up his teammates.
There you go. I was going to say, let's get him 2 dunks and warm-ups.
Yeah.
Don't think he'll be in this game, but if he is in this game, that's a hell of a good sign for Purdue.
Yeah.
So I guess my real goal would be just get in the game, because
Get
that
in the
means we've
game,
won by
Aaron.
a significant
Come on,
margin.
Aaron.
Yeah, cool. So we'll get down. We've been doing this long enough. We'll get to predictions here, and then any final thoughts. So Ken Palm has this, I believe, is an 8-point victory for Purdue, 81-73, if I remember correctly. I'm not looking at it. I think that's a pretty good line. I don't think Wisconsin gets to that many points, though. I'm going to go Purdue 84, Wisconsin 68. I think Purdue kind of pulls away with it at the end.
That's so I'm going 79-68. I think it's an 11-point win. I think just our depth outlasts them. So I think that is how it ends up.
Yeah, love it. I think that's pretty close. I think we're both kind of on the same page there, too. So, again, this is an 8 o'clock game on Saturday. What are your final thoughts, final takeaways, anything you want to send the people home with, or you really want to see from Purdue?
Come out and, we played at the Rack. Now another tough place to play is the Kohl Center. So, start out 2-0 on the road in the Big Ten. Come out and flex nuts and just be Purdue. Do Purdue.
Do Purdue. Do Purdue. Yeah, no, love it. I apologize to anybody who's had to listen to me be as nasally as someone can be and sniff up my own snot throughout this show. I'm sure that somebody out there is disgusted, and I apologize to you, sir.
Yeah, they are, dude. They already shut it off.
Already turned it off. And if you have, you'll never hear this apology, but it is genuine. Hope Purdue goes in. It's a Saturday. It'll be a fun Saturday night game. Really excited for the Big Ten season to get started. Kind of tomorrow, really. Friday is when we'll start to see a lot of these high-level games start getting going on, and that gets me hyped up when it gets to this time of year. We're halfway through the season, guys. The tournament's a few months away. We only got about 20 to 30 more games with these guys on the roster. So really enjoy these moments. Enjoy these moments when records get broken. Enjoy these moments when these seniors have big games, and really embrace it, because you won't really know what you're missing until it's gone. It happens every time. We kind of all saw that last year without Zach, and we'll see it again next year. I think we're going to have a great season next year, but there'll be a big hole in that, and it's going to take a lot of time to fill that hole. So,
Amen.
3 of the most beloved players in Purdue history, and I'd like to see them kind of mend. This is very similar to the Edie senior year. All the things that happened the previous year have to be mended, and that's kind of starts tonight. It started with Auburn, but now it starts tonight with Wisconsin. They came and beat us at our house. It's time to go do the same to them. Expect to see a victory, and if anybody's is out there, if anybody's listening, don't get sick. It sucks.
Yeah. Stay healthy. Take your vitamins.
Take your vitamins.
Yeah. Stay inside.
Yeah. Do what you have to do.
Drink water. Get
All right.
rest.
All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in. And one of these days we'll get that damn freaking fire thing fixed. Peace out.
See you guys.